Can I ask you something, Miss Evelyn? Do you know what her pain is? Because the only reason a person would behave in this manner,
we're not going to throw this behavior word around again. We're not going to do that. She does not have a behavior problem, and that's not fair.
First of all, your finger in my face is not going to work for me.
What the name calling is not going to work for me. Because I don't appreciate you keep throwing out these names. That is what about my disrespect? All I have been is disrespectful. I've been called. Wait a minute.
Okay, so let's talk about something that's been brewing for years. We've all watched the chaos. We've all pointed fingers. We've all said, Tamar, girl, you need to sit down. But what if, and hear me out, what if Tamar Braxton isn't actually the problem? What if the real villain in this messy, toxic, never-ending Braxton family saga has been hiding in plain sight this entire time? What if it's been Miss Evelyn all along? I know, that's a bold statement, but stay with me because we're about to unpack everything. The drama, the resentment, the fallouts, the toxicity, it all leads back to one person. And honestly, the internet is starting to catch on. So here's the tea. Tamar is done being the family scapegoat. For years, she's been dragged online for being chaotic, attention-seeking, loud, messy, you name it. She's been called it. But recently, she's been pushing back hard. And instead of just defending herself, she's doing something bold. She's pointing the finger directly at her mother. Tamar has been open about her mental health journey, her healing, her therapy, all of that.
Letting your mother run your life.
How dare he try to tell me how to raise my kids after he have abandoned us? He has some nerve.
Y'all have lives to live yourself, and she can't run her life, her home, and your home too.
And you know what? Had you been home long enough to help me to raise them, it wouldn't be such a problem. But where were you? Out there hanging in the street, doing whatever you were big enough to do.
All day long?
What did you do?
What did you do?
And through that process, she started connecting the dots. She's been saying, you think I'm the problem? Let me tell you where this behavior actually comes from. And according to Tamar, it all stems from Miss Evelyn. The bitterness, the resentment, the inability to let things go. Tamar says she learned it all from her mama. And honestly, when you start looking at the patterns, it's hard to disagree. Now, let's be real. Tamar has fed us over the years. The drama with Vince, iconic. The messiness with JR. We watched every episode. The constant beef with her sisters. It was reality TV gold. Tamar has given us everything. She burns bridges like it's her full-time job. She's messy, she's loud, and she does not know how to keep anything to herself. And recently, she threw Funky Deneva under the bus so casually it was almost impressive.
You don't steal anything.
You don't. You stole men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them.
Oh,
a few times.
Who? What man?
You not get the lead.
Oh. Dirty low down ass.
Oh, you such a liar. Such a liar.
She was out here talking about some alleged incident after a night out, hinting at drama, and then, get this, she implied she may have slept with Tony's partners. Like, ma'am, that's your sister. The chaos is chaotic and we've been entertained. But at what cost? Here's the thing though, the public is tired. When Braxton Family Values first aired, Tamar's antics were fun. She was the firecracker, the one who said what everyone else was thinking. But now, it feels like she's gotten more toxic every single year. She claims she's on a healing journey, but people are like, girl, where? Because we're not seeing it. The comments are brutal. She needs help. She's exhausting. She never thinks she's wrong. She always feels attacked. And here's the kicker. She's almost 50 years old, and she still falls out with everyone around her. At some point, people started asking, is it really everyone else, or is it you? And for a long time, the consensus was, it's Tamar. She's the problem. But Tamar, she doesn't let criticism slide. She clapped back, and she didn't hold back. She said, you want to know why I'm like this? Look at my mother. Look at how we were raised. Look at the bitterness and resentment that's been sitting in this family for decades.
Say some things out her mouth that are really cutting.
But your daughters are being held emotionally hostage to your ex-wife's bitterness towards you.
Mm-hmm.
You and her need to get on the same side of the table and free those girls. Because the elephant in the room that nobody will talk about is Evelyn Braxton's attitude.
And honestly, she's the first Braxton sister to publicly connect her behavior to her upbringing. She's out here saying, this toxicity didn't start with me, it started with Miss E. So let's go back, way back. Over 20 years ago, Michael Braxton Sr. cheated and Miss Evelyn divorced him. Fair, understandable, but here's where it gets messy. Evelyn never let it go. She has carried that resentment for over 2 decades like it's a badge of honor. And that anger, that bitterness, it didn't just stay with her, it seeped into her daughters. It affected how they handle hurt, how they deal with resentment, how they navigate relationships, and how they treat each other.
I think they look at me as a sister. They don't like me. We were very close as kids, very close as young adults, and now where we are in our lives, that relationship no longer serves us. And I would hate to keep arguing with them and keep building negative memories instead of building and relying and thinking of the good memories that we had.
Because everything she's...
The Braxton sisters absorbed all of that anger they witnessed growing up, and now they're all walking around carrying their mama's pain. And it's not just Tamar. Even Tony, the calm one, the composed one, has been described as reserved messy. That's how deep this goes. Miss Evelyn has been painted as toxic and controlling, and allegedly, during the divorce, she forced her kids to pick sides. If you chose your father, you were treated like the enemy. Tracy wanted to maintain a relationship with their dad, and that caused major friction with Evelyn. And rumor has it, Evelyn held that grudge against Tracy all the way up until Tracy passed away. Like, imagine holding a grudge against your own child for that long. That's the level of toxicity we're talking about. Now, Tamar, being the youngest, sided hard with her mother during the divorce, and that created this intense, codependent relationship. Tamar has said she didn't make major decisions without consulting Evelyn. She was attached.
That she thought was right.
Pitiful lie, too.
And as long as you agree with her, she's fine. And it's the same thing with y'all. If y'all don't agree with her, she is pissed. And it's time for y'all to stop letting your mother run your life.
Let me know if you're picking up.
And according to Tamar, her mother loved the sound of her own voice, believed she was always right, shut down opinions she didn't agree with, and expected total obedience. And because Evelyn raised 6 kids alone after Michael Sr. left, the daughters were guilt-tripped into submission. I raised you by myself. I sacrificed everything for you. And so they stayed loyal, even when it was toxic.
What I'm putting down. So looking at Tina Knowles and her children, and looking at Evelyn Braxton and her girl, it's proof to me that forgiveness or unforgiveness and bitterness can trickle down to your kids. I feel like Tina Knowles is the reason why Solange and Beyonce are able to persevere and press through adversity with grace and poise. I know this is a weird way to put it, but Beyonce and Solange was able to see their parents go through a healthy divorce. Even Miss Tina acknowledged that they did not go back and forth. And honestly, she had every reason to be bitter and not forgive him for having an outside baby on her. And then on the other hand, we can look at Miss Evelyn Braxton and see why her daughters are still on each other's neck in their 40s and 50s.
And here's the wildest part. It's been over 20 years since the divorce, and Evelyn still holds that resentment. She still carries that bitterness, and it spills onto her daughters. It shows up in how they treat each other, how they communicate, how they fight. And now, a lot of people are starting to agree with Tamar. They're saying, you know what? Miss Evelyn set the tone for all this disrespect. She's the one who normalized this toxicity. The comments are shifting. People are starting to see Evelyn as the hidden villain. They're saying things like, Evelyn represents so many toxic mothers who raise mentally scarred daughters. The Braxton family has always been toxic, and Evelyn was at the center. She used guilt to keep the daughters united, but they don't even actually like each other. And because Tamar is the loudest, she becomes the scapegoat. She's the one everyone blames. But the truth? The dysfunction started way before Tamar opened her mouth. So what do you think? Is Tamar really the problem? Or has Miss Evelyn been the puppet master pulling the strings this whole time? Is this a case of generational trauma? Or is Tamar just using her mother as an excuse for her own mess? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you made it this far, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, because we're diving into all the messiest tea on this channel. Alright, that's all I got for today. I'll see you in the next video.